Okay, these are the facts. Mel and Martell are still in love with each other. Tip done got Big Lou to put a seed up in her because she have abandonment issues. And Kimmy sharing her story with us is going to save a bunch of black women. Y'all ready to talk about it? Cue the music. Oh yes, bitches and hoes. I'm back.
I'll drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate or fuck discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video. We're here to discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 5 Reunion Part 3. I'm pretty sure it's the last one. I hope so, because we dragging at this point. Anyway, let's get into it. I ain't got all night. So the episode opens up, Destiny was explaining how, she had some stuff up there that they could have used. It's just that production never used it. Kimmy jumps in the middle and said we all have had that. Basically, we've all had stuff that we've said and done on film, but it didn't quite make production. That's really not an excuse. You just don't be given a lot. Carlos King looks at Kimmy and was like, Kimmy then turns to Carlos and was like, listen, production will come pull me to the side and be like, hey, you need to get her to talk about this, talk about that. She was like, and I would say, listen, I'm trying. It's hard. It's like pulling teeth with this girl. The girl don't really be wanting to talk. Destiny, what the hell is you doing? Why are you here? Why are you here, Ike? Why are you here? Because at this point, we just over it. I don't even want to give you another season for a chance. Because even when Carlos King asked you, oh well, you think we're gonna be able to get more detail about your relationship next year or next season? Because he asked her, well, where your man at? Oh well, I wanted him to be here, but for unforeseen occurrences, girl, please. Then he asked who all met the man. Apparently in person. And apparently Big Lou and Crazy Tiff, Messy Tiff met him. And Courtney and Stormy done met him. Nobody else that met him on the show met him. So it don't count to us. You either bring your man or go home, fat. That's just what it is. Like, it just is what it is. And then Carlos was like, well, will we get more out of you? She was like, I'm an open book as much as I can be. Carlos, fire her ass tonight. We don't even want to give her another chance. You dead. It's over with. Well, we don't want to see it. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to find it. You fired. And we all know Madani ain't over there doing numbers. So now you done messed up your bag because you want to be private. Destiny, we tied and we through. We through and tied, Destiny. Go home. Anyway, moving on. Mel and Destiny do their package. So tired of this shit. But they do their package. And basically in the package, Mel just wants her to beef with Martell the way that she's beefing with him. That's just what it is. Mel is on the belief of, if me and him beefed out, you can't be friends with him. That's just that. I can't stand people like that. Your beef with him ain't got nothing to do with me. Not to mention, that girl been friends with him since high school. Now, Mel claims she ain't know nothing about that. She been married in 13, 14 years. She ain't never knew that they were besties or nothing like that. Destiny explains it by saying, I went off to college or went off somewhere else and came back and me and Martell reconnected, but I've been knowing him since, I was 15 or something of the nature. So now Carlos King asked them, what happened? Like, what happened where they couldn't get back? Because he know that once Destiny got divorced and they won't tell nobody. Because again, she was trying to keep everybody out of her business, which is why she need to go left that way. Whatever. He was like, what happened after that? Mel is just of the belief that it just, after her not saying nothing about the divorce, they were going through the same things. They were basically trauma bonding. And she felt it was some type of way that Destiny was still talking to Martell. Now, Destiny was like, well, if I let Martell go for the reasons you want me to let him go, I need to be letting you go too. Destiny, spill the tea if you ain't going to tell everybody. If you ain't going to tell yours, tell everybody else's. What was the tea? Was Mel cheating too? It wouldn't surprise me. Listen, if I was Mel, I would have cheated too. You know, when I had a baby child, I'd have been hopping on another stick like a pogo. You get it? Stop acting crazy. I wouldn't even blame Mel for cheating. He done had a baby. You crossed the line, fat. Crossed the line. But she didn't want to go into detail. And this is what I noticed about you, Carlos. Whenever it comes to hold Mel accountable, you brush right over it. I don't like that. I get it, she's the fan favorite. I get it, she's your favorite. But how is we holding everybody accountable but not Mel? Why aren't we diving into Mel teas? Hell, even when Destiny was like, I could expose your ass, Marcel was like, please don't do that. We ain't heard nothing else. Like, what's going on? Why aren't we getting in Mel teas? Why is she being protected? I'm confused. I know protect black women, but you ain't protecting the other ones. What's going on? I'm confused. But anyway, she said if she did that, she'd have to cut Mel off too. I'ma just go out on the limb. Out on the limb. And say Mel was out there cheating and skeeting too. That's just my opinion. That's my opinionated fact because we ain't getting no more of the teas on that. But either way, Mel brings up the fact that, you know, Destiny is, you know, is kind of inappropriate with Martell because she was calling her at 1 and 5 in the morning. And immediately I sat up on my couch and say, well, girl, how you know? How you know, Mel? Somebody even asked, wait a minute, how you know? Well, we come to find out somehow I ain't got no iPhone, so I don't know nothing about all this. I got a Droid. I got an Android. So our phones might could do it. We don't know because we don't be exploring all that type of stuff to Android people. But apparently somebody got Martell's phone hacked to where it rings, and if he don't answer and there's so many rings or however the case may be, it goes straight to Mel's phone. So Mel's able to see the doggone calls. Now this is my question, because Mel claims she didn't hack it. She think Martell did. Martell says she's a habitual liar. She did it and she knows how to lie. She lies well. She said he projected. Nah. This is what I want to know, Mel. If in fact that was the case and you felt like he hacked your phone, I know you said you just changed your number. How long you let the calls come through before you changed the number? I'm curious because you was able to know that she was calling at 1 and 5. Make it make sense. How long did you monitor the phone calls? Who else you saw calling? I know Coleslaw called because she got a baby. I want to know how long you had the calls the way you had the calls because I'm, inquiring minds want to know. But anyway, we brushed right over that. We didn't even get into that. And I don't know if it was talked about, but then cut and editing, because I know Mel got some sort of producer rights or whatever the case may be. But this is not right. I think if we're going to dig and dive into people's shit, we need to be able to dig and dive into everybody's shit, Mel included. I'm sorry. She don't get a pass because she's Mel and because she's the fan favorite. That's just me. Anyway, Mel's whole thing is she done with Destiny. She said she tried it, but she's gonna do what's best for her, and and leave it at that. She said, Destiny and her done had their issues in the past. She over it. Destiny wants to know, well, girl, what was the real tease? Like, what was it that it was the issue? She was like, we've already talked about that. Mel's deflecting. She don't want to talk about it. She just want to say she want to move on. Destiny, move on, because we tired of you too. Move on. Why is everybody running to be friends with Mel? I'm confused. Why? I get it. She's the ground down of Love and Marriage Huntsville, but who cares? Girl, you could beat for her and still have that same spotlight. Look at Tisha crazy ass. They dragging for her every time you turn around. You can still get talked about, girl. You ain't got to go through Mel to be no, you know what I'm saying? But Carlos asked Destiny how she felt about Mel feeling like she overheard her and Tisha talking about him. Destiny said, honestly, we wasn't even talking about the girl. She still has yet to tell me what she heard. Mel says she not revisiting that, which is what I just said. But at the end of the day, Tisha jumps in and was like, listen, I felt like she just needed a storyline fed because wasn't nobody talking about no damn Mel. I actually was telling her, Destiny, to go be friends, go check on her. Because, Martell was dragging her on the doggone reunion stage. But Mel don't feel like she heard that. I don't think Mel heard anything. I feel like Mel heard them talking, but I don't think Mel heard anything significant in order for them to start beefing like that. I believe Mel was just tired of the whole thing. She was stressed out with the Martell drama. I believe she just wanted to cut a lot of the foolishness off. I'm here for it. I ain't saying you're wrong for that, but don't package it as if the girl just did you something dirty and was doggy and being down bad. You feel away and you say it without saying it, and you say it with saying it, not realizing you saying it. You feel away that she's still cool with Martell. You question how cool they are. You do. That's why you sitting up there saying she calling them at 1 and 5 in the morning. You question how cool they are. You question how close they are. You question a lot about their relationship, and it don't sit right with you. That's just what it is. But if you're so over it, and you're like past this, why do you give a damn what's going on between Martell and Destiny, if anything? And I personally don't think nothing's going on. But again, it's those little subliminals they show to act like they really not feeling each other, worried about each other. But as we'll see here, when they both start tearing up, they still in love. That's just what it is. I'm sorry. Tisha jumps in and basically says that Mel has a dark soul. She said Mel is pretty on the outside, but dark and evil on the inside. Tisha said Mel is the devil in sheep's clothing. I said, oh, that's that Southern Baptist read right there. I don't think she's dark. I think she has dark ways, but I don't think she's dark. Tisha, you know, you feel like that because she's exposing your cheating ass husband, allegedly. And you don't want that out on Front Street. How far can I even say? She know who the fuck she married. Tisha know who the fuck she married. And she know Martell ain't to be trusted. Come on now. She been with that man 20 years. She know he ain't to be trusted. She don't like that it's out on Front Street, outside of the Huntsville streets. And Mel, you have been going out of your way to make it known. That's just what it is. Like, you've been going out your way to make it known that Martell ain't shit. But we all know Martell ain't shit. Martell know he ain't shit. I'm confused as to why we keep going back and forth with this. If you know a girl who directly says she slept with Martell, please bring the girl up on the show so we can get this over with. Because I'm over this. I'm tired. I'm tired and through. Bring the girl. Let the girl point him out like they did on the witness stand in the Megan Thee Stallion trial and say, I slept with him. Bring this girl up here so we can get it over with. If not, let it go. Like, leave it alone. Like, I'm confused. Leave it the fuck alone if you're not about to do all that. That's just my opinion because it's getting tiresome. It really is. And Tisha gonna sit up there and play stupid and act like she don't know, or she feel like what you saying is complete bull crap when she know good and well you telling straight facts. Now, it might not be straight facts, but there's some facts scribbled in the lines over there. She know that. She ain't crazy. And that's just that. Carlos King asked Destiny how she felt about it and if she's had that same experience with Mel. Stormy said, girl, look, I ain't that close to Mel. Like, we cool, but we don't be sharing all our stuff. Her and Destiny shared a lot. So, the fact that they got their beef like that is because they went through a lot. Now, me and Mel, we talk about the good. We don't talk about the bad and the ugly. So, I can't really speak to that. So, I can't say she dark or whatever. I ain't have that experience with her. That's just that. I forgot Stormy was even there. You still look cute, girl. But when she says that, Martell tells Stormy to retreat now because you next. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I believe it. I believe it. Look at the line of friendships and look at who all beefing and look at who the common denominator is in all these beefs. Stormy, you're next. And from what I hear, you're already next. The millimeters, the millimeters, whatever they call themselves. You know, let me just say this for the millimeters. You got to be a crazy... something got to be wrong with you to be a grown-ass woman with bills, responsibilities, possibly kids, and things going on in your life to follow a woman you don't know nothing about. All you know is what they're putting about it. To blindly follow a woman to the point where you call yourself a follower of theirs by using their names, like, or whatever names they give. And it ain't just the millimeters, the beehive, the Barty gang. Y'all got to be... something wrong with y'all. I question the sanity of any grown-ass person with real-life things going on in their life be following behind somebody blindly. So much to the fact that y'all literally form cults. It's sick. Y'all need help and therapy. I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw that out there. But Martell said you better get up out of there. She said, Martell, you just bullshitting. You just trying to make it seem like, you know, I have an issue with everybody. She said, but I want to know how is it that you friends with Marceau and all of them and they run around telling people you ain't got no builder's license. You just doing that because you want to make it seem like you the friendly one and I'm not. That's what I gathered from it. Martell's whole thing is, no, I'm not like you. I can actually have friendships and we can evolve and we can forgive and woo-doo-woo-doo-woo-doo. Martell needs Marceau. That's why he's friends with Marceau. That's why Marceau could drag for him. He needs Marceau. They both got dirt on each other. Not only that, Martell, did you ever get your license? He need Marceau. So he, of course, is going to be friends with Marceau. And if he's smart enough, he's thinking, I need to have allies on this show because Mel, remember, you didn't even want to film with him. Sound about right to me. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Anyway, moving on. Mel and Martell, Carlos gets on them. He said they used to be cordial. They was able to get to a place where they were cordial, and he wants to know what happened. Martell says the co-parenting thing done took a turn for the worse because basically Mel around there dropping them churn off on her week by every Tom, Dick, and Uncle Harry, and he don't appreciate that. He said because when they was together, she would have never dropped my churn off by no man. She know I don't like my churn going by no man house. Carlos was like, well, is it because he's gay? And he was like, no. Well, I mean, the point is, I don't want my children by no man house. Let me say this. Martell, use a bitch. Use a dick. But I will give you this. Mel has 3 young girls. 3. There are so many, think about this. There are so many women who have stories about their parents, not saying that this is this. Let me be clear. I am not saying that this is this, but I'm rationalizing and verbalizing what Martell cannot say. But there are, or maybe can I say, this is my interpretation of why he's doing what he's doing. Because if you was okay with not having a man watching them children while y'all was together, what changed other than trying to get back at him? Let me get back to my point. The point I'm making is there are so many women in today's society who would tell you, my parents dropped me off by this person, that person, and this person or that person assaulted me. We hear about it every single day. Maybe, just maybe, because we know Martell ain't shit of a husband, but let's put that on the side of the table. He is a father to his children. So just maybe he has that fear of not wanting his girls, or maybe even his son, his kids by a man because of other reasons such as that. I know when we were growing up, we couldn't spend the night by nobody's house. Why? Because my mama said, I don't know, I can't be over there. I don't want nobody doing nothing to my kids. So because of that, y'all want to have friends, they got to come spend the night over here. You can't go spend the night over there. It's a normal practice, but because he's a man saying he don't want another man to watch his kids, and it just so happened to be her gay brother who she just met in high school, is an issue. I understand that concern. You didn't grow up with him. You didn't. And I'm not saying that whatever his name is or do anything to it. I don't think that. But I understand Martell's concern. And for all you millimeters out there sitting up there acting like he just overreacting, you will want to have a father of your kids who care enough about your kids. Also, what would be wrong? I know it's your week, but what is so wrong if your mama, and I'm even say your brother, if your mama and your brother can't watch them, what would be so wrong with bringing them kids by Martell? Remember, this not about y'all. This not about Mel and Martell. This about the churn. What would be so wrong with saying, hey, can you watch the kids? Nah, I get it. Martell could be a dick and go back to the courthouse and say she ain't never with these damn kids, like Malaysia and them, and then ask for full custody. But we there anyway. This is where we are anyway. You damned if you do and you damned if you don't. You bring him by X amount of people, he going down there telling them people you ain't got time. You bring him by him, he gonna go down there and tell the people you ain't got time. Listen, divorce is dirty. It's very dirty when it pertains to kids. It's extremely filthy when it pertains to kids. And most of the time, the people fight over money and kids. Period. That's the 2 top things people fight over in divorce. It makes sense that Martell will feel like if you ain't got the time, then you need to give me full custody. Now listen, I am not trying to say that a woman should not be able to do everything she needs to do and still be a mother to her kids. Because we all know Candy do it as well. But Candy got to stay at home father. Time. You get it? In this situation, that's not the same. I'm not saying a woman should have to choose. I don't think Mel should have to choose. I think Mel should be able to do everything she needs to do. But Mel might have to tweak that schedule a little bit so that it accommodates her kids a little more. Or maybe travel with her kids. A lot of stars and people bring their kids everywhere they go. I don't know. But at this rate, if what Martell is saying is true and he could prove that to a judge, you're going to lose them damn kids. For what? For what? Start taking your kids with you. Like, I mean, I don't know if that's in the divorce decree where you can't, or maybe tweak your schedules. Don't do so many things during the week. Maybe do some stuff on the weekend that you can kind of flex a little bit more. I don't know what your schedule look like, but I'm just saying for the kids' sake, that's just how I feel about it. Anyway, moving on. So now Carlos asked Martell what goes through his mind after they played a package of him basically saying he regret everything. He asked Martell what goes through his mind when he's looking at that. Martell says that basically, I miss that. Because Martell can never muster up the words to say, I miss my wife and my family. He would never say that. So he just says that. This brings Carlos to tears because Carlos said he worried about Martell. He said, Martell, you the type of person that'll be going through all type of stuff, and just because you don't want to be vulnerable, you'll get up here and make it seem like you ain't that bad. You ain't that mad or sad about anything. But then that pent up aggression or sadness turns into aggression and you blow up on people. He's truly, genuinely concerned for Martell. Martell, they try to hand you a napkin because Carlos was crying. You look like you want to cry, but you still not showing that vulnerable side. Sitting up there talking about you don't need no napkins. Now, Martell comes out of that and say, I regret, the things that I put my family through. I regret putting them in that position. I wish that my kids still came home to me. and us together. I wish that this wasn't where we were. Well, you know, if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk as a skunk. It is what it is. You made your bed, lay in it, Martell, because you should have been thinking about that when you was skeeting all up in Cold Star. And it wasn't the first time she was pregnant, because she came out and said allegedly that she was pregnant with a baby for you before. You think you would have wrapped it up. It is what it is. You are the reason why you're where you are today, and that's just that. That's just that. But while he's talking to Martell, talking about, you know, y'all were at a good point at one time. Y'all went over the dog on the Destin and all of that. Even Mel's shedding tears. That is not coming from nowhere, people. Millimeters, I know y'all don't want to believe that Mel might still be in love with her husband. But think back to your own cheating and stuff that you done went through. Because I know that's what y'all trauma bond over. You would have taken your husband back if he would have really made a true change. She doesn't want to be in this situation. Which is why she could say something to the effect of, I never thought I'd have kids with a man that I don't like. Welcome to 2023. And everything behind us. Because there are a lot of women who realize they had kids with a man they don't like. I'm one of them. I'm just saying. But they go through the package, and Carlos comes out of the package of them going to Destin and all that, and basically tells Mel, you know, I get it, you know, y'all women, he didn't say it like that. He was just saying women get to be successful and they forget sometimes, you know, well, sometimes the men feel neglected and be like, what about me? You got to take care of your man. Mel said, child, look, I took care of him. Shit, I stayed pregnant. We was doing everything we needed to do. That wasn't the case. He just did what he wanted to do. This is another time Mel don't take responsibility or any accountability, because Carlos said, do you think there's anything you could have done different? And you know, when I got my divorce years ago, I went through the period of blaming, and then I sat down and really thought about what I could have done different. And I really started thinking about how it is being married to me. And I learned a lot about myself, and I was able to fix a lot of things. But instead of Mel just saying, you know, maybe I should have listened more and left it there, Mel goes on to say, I mean, I could have listened more, but at the end of the day, he was going to do what he was going to do regardless. Like, he still was going to do this. So I don't think there's nothing I could have did. I'm not a robot. You just can't be at fault for nothing, Mel. You just can't. There's fault. Mel, impossible. That's what it is. It's impossible. I ain't saying you deserve what you got from Martell. Martell ain't worth shit. But what I'm saying is it's impossible for you to take any accountability for anything. You do nothing wrong. And it's driving me in my home, girls. Anyway, move on. Big Lou and Messy Tiff finally come on out to the couch. Oh, Lord. Big Lou and Messy Tiff, y'all drove or flew all the way wherever the hell y'all at LA to get 15 minutes. And I don't mean a fame. You know, Big Lou and Messy Tiff, if I was y'all, I'd have slapped the hell out of Carlos in the back of his head as we exited behind them. 15 minutes. Anyway, Big Lou and Messy Tiff sit down. They start talking about, you know, how the long work hours got away from them, and Big Lou was around there saying he was sexually frustrated. Child, they play the package. Big Lou come out of the package and say, that was only for like a week or two. Big Lou, do you think we crazy? Either you was lying then or you're lying now. And the way Messy Tiff be looking at your ass like you better stay on cold or I'ma bat the hell out of you. You get your ass right in line. If she beating you, blink twice, Big Lou. Anyway, so Big Lou was up there saying that basically, you know, that was just a week that he had that, you know, that they wasn't sleeping together. At the end of the day, it was just something like that. She pregnant. Messy Tiff is pregnant. She done finally got a baby. It's stuck up in a little Ace. It's a boy. She said Ace mean unity because, you know, he's going to bring them all together because they're a blended family. Oh, Lord, that's so cute. Anyway, they asked about Dr. Francis and how she felt about that whole trip. She said she felt blindsided because she was there to support Tisha bringing Marcel the dog on therapy, and when she got there, Dr. Francis got in her ass. Well, he got in your ass because you didn't respect the man's time. That's anywhere. That's anybody. But she basically said she felt blindsided. She had already talked to her husband, and her husband knew she had a work call, and they agreed that they were going to be able to take that call. So she didn't think Dr. Francis should have been talking to them like that. He basically prejudged her. She didn't think that was fair. Girl, you think Dr. Francis give a damn? Because he don't. But Carlos asked them how they felt about being diagnosed professionally as fake. Lou said it wasn't, that man didn't say that. That was Marceau saying that. Look at Marceau. Martell, you know you messy, yeah. You messy as hell. Anyway, let's move on. All right, Kimmy and Maurice's package. So now, this is the last scene. We visiting Kimmy and Maurice and their journey with breast cancer. So they played a package of, you know, everything that went down with her and her breast cancer diagnosis and all that. Cutting her hair, her being worried about Marcel because he's a fixer. But they come out of the package and Carlos thanks her for sharing her journey with us because she didn't have that to do. And he asked her how she's doing now. And she said, you know, honestly, I'm actually doing better than I look. I'm not doing this bad. We down 20 weeks of chemo. We only got 7 more left. And then we got to do some radiation. And after that, you know, we going to go back into some other treatment processes and all that. But she said, you know, it was hard for her because she basically didn't know if she wanted to go forward with the process. She said, you know, her and Maurice talked about it. You know, when she first found out she was going through emotions, she thought she wasn't even going to be able to do this shit. She said, but she's glad that she's married and she's glad she did because it kept her busy and it kept her, like, you know, being a bitch about it. She's going to kick cancer in the ass, as you will. Not as you should, as you will, Kimmy. You are strong. And listen, your emotional health is directly tied to your mental health. So it makes all the sense in the world that you fight. And you can, you know what, like you said, help other women. Because I learned a lot about mammograms versus ultrasounds and dense breasts. So this is the thing. They're saying that a lot of black women don't go to the doctor's period and get these type of checkups. She ain't lying. I know one study came out saying you got to be 40 years or older, but I think that has been updated. Then she goes on to say, you know, with the triple negative breast cancer that affects black women disproportionately than any other race of women, it's extremely progressive, like aggressive. Basically, in 2 weeks, it had gotten worse from when she got diagnosed. So she's basically saying that as black women, we need to go get checked more, check ourselves more. You know your body. If something's not right with your body, go get checked. Get a doggone ultrasound, and doctors won't ask you for it or offer it to you. You have to ask them for it. Go get all these things put in place so that you, black women, can be okay. It made me feel like I need to go get my breast checked. Because, again, I got a cousin right now suffering with triple negative breast cancer, and she's pregnant. You know what I mean? So I learned a lot. Carlos even shared his story that his mom basically found out she had cancer and just decided to suffer in silence. She didn't go to no doctor. She didn't do nothing. She passed away and suffered in silence. He said, but he had a dream, and his mama came to him in a dream and said that he wanted him to share Kimmy's story to help other black women because she didn't get to help herself. Carlos cried like twice during this reunion, and it touched me both times because you can tell he genuinely care for these people. This isn't like no bullshit. He really care for these people. Ladies, get checked. Please, 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 please get checked. I don't care how old you are. Get checked. Because cancer ain't what it was 20, 30 years ago. Breast cancer at least. Get checked. So anyway, he thanked everybody for coming out. I thank Kimmy more than anybody on this show for sharing her journey because you have You have made other women aware, or more aware, of how to take care of their bodies. We need that. We needed that. I appreciate you more than you could ever know. My prayers are with you, Kimmy, and we gonna fight this and we gonna beat it. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 5, Reunion Part 3. I need a break, Carlos. Don't come back too soon. Don't come back too soon. And if you gotta come back too soon, give us Destiny toward the end if you invite her back. Because we tired of this. And we tired of Mel and Martell too. We need a new couple. Show us more Stormy and her teas. Drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on TikTok. And I'll see you hoes later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.